By the end of this video, you're gonna understand why there is so much suffering in this world. Let's not pretend as if that's okay. Let's not pretend as if that makes sense. It doesn't make sense that you were born in a world that you didn't ask to be brought into and you suffer and it's your fault. That doesn't make sense. The truth is that suffering is not a bug. Suffering is a future. We cannot stop suffering. As sentient beings, we cannot stop suffering. We do not have the power to stop suffering. You don't have the power to stop suffering in your own life. You should wonder why. By the end of this video, you're going to understand why you don't get what you really want until you stop wanting it. You're going to understand that manifestation works, but not the way that you're being told it works. Ever wondered why, when you stop caring about something or about having something, that's when it becomes available to you? Ever wondered why? When you really want something, you don't get. Like if you lose something, for example, let's say you lose a pen and you really need it, you desperately need it. You can look for it everywhere and not find it. And then one day you don't even think about that pen anymore. You bought another pen, you're just chilling, and then you see something. You're like, what's that? Fuck, it's the pen that I was looking for, but I've looked here. Why wasn't it there? I have looked, I should have seen it. Why? Gonna understand why everyone is confused. Everyone is confused. What is different religions in this world? No one is really telling us the truth. No one is saying, you know what, hey, you guys have suffered a lot. You have suffered, to be honest. You deserve the truth. Because there's no way we can know the truth if we are not told what the truth is. If it has never been confirmed to us what the truth is. You see? You can do your own work trying to understand what's going on, but if it has never been confirmed to you that what you think is the truth, you can never really know the truth. Yes, there are some things that when you think about them, the conclusions that you make sense. But there are things that are unknowable at this point. We need help to know these things. We need help to know what life is. We need help to know why we are here, to know our purpose, to know where we came from. You know what I mean? We need help. Us knowing nothing isn't a good thing. Don't let anyone lie to you. There are some things that we're supposed to know. Like even if us knowing what's really going on was a bad thing, but there will be some things that we would need to know. We wouldn't need to be this confused for this to work. So by the end of this video, you're gonna understand why there's so much confusion in the world, why there's wars, famine, why the people that you love die. The universe is rich. You know that? The universe is actually rich. It is possible for each and every person who is here to have the time of their life. Each and every person. I'm talking about people that you think cannot have fun in this realm. People that you think are just meant to suffer. It is possible for each and every conscious being to have fun here. But that's never going to happen. What's going to happen is that we will realize that it's possible so that we fight to make things better for ourselves and other people, but we'll never be able to make things better because things ain't supposed to be better. So I'm going to be explaining why. I'm going to be explaining why that guy that you loved more than any other guy, that guy that you treated better than any other guy, the guy of your dream, you met him, he was yours, everything was okay, and you lost that person, and your life changed. You were never the same. That girl that you sacrificed everything for, you gave her everything. You used to cry in front of her. Yeah, you found the love of your life. So you were so comfortable that you'll even cry in front of her. You know, I'm going to explain why you had to lose her. I'm going to explain why they bullied you. Why your mom didn't treat you well. Why your dad didn't treat you well. Why you are sick. Why you do not have money. Why you do not live in a country that you want to live in. Why you are always having problems. I'm going to explain why no matter how hard you try to be positive, it feels as if there's something wrong with the world. You try to be positive, but deep down, you feel like there's something wrong with this place. If you're really serious about understanding how reality works, about understanding why things are the way that they are, if you're really, really serious, I'm pretty sure you might have thought that maybe, as crazy as it may sound, maybe we weren't put here for a good reason. As crazy as that may sound. I mean, we're being told that we're put here for a good reason. We're being told that life is a gift, right? Since we're young, that's what we're being told. Life is a gift. You watch movies. Even if you are not being told directly, you are being told that life is a gift. Listen to music. Even if you're not being told directly. You know, you listen to politicians, popular politicians, Trump. You listen to the president of your country. You listen to Putin. Yeah. They're basically saying this is a gift. They're basically saying this is a gift. Have as many children as you want. If a person seems to be saying the opposite, even if they're not saying that directly, that person is the enemy. That person must be hated. But if you have really, really tried to understand how reality works, try to understand why they're suffering, try to understand why things are not going your way, why everyone seems to have problems, why people get sick, why people are traumatized, all these horrible things, the wars, famine, all of that in a universe where there's everything. I'm sure at some point you thought, what if we were not brought here for a good reason? What if we're telling ourselves that we're brought here for a good reason? But there is something very evil that has put us here for its own benefit, and it doesn't care about us. It only cares about what it can get from us. Meaning it doesn't care about our needs. It doesn't care if we're happy, as long as it's able to get what it wants. So if it means that it must make us happy for a while to give us what we want, or give us hope, to get what it wants from us, to give us hope to get what it wants from us, to make us not suffer 24/7. Sometimes give us a break just to get what it wants from us. It will do that. So everything that it does is not really for us, even if it seems like it's a good thing, but it's for it to benefit. It's always planning on how to get the most out of us. It's not planning on how can I make life better? How can I make the animals on earth, the humans on earth, how can I make their lives better? How can I make them happy? What problems must I solve? Oh, let me give them technology. That's going to help. We're not brought here by that kind of being that want things to be better. We're brought here by the kind of being that if we figured out how to make things better, it will intervene. Like, nope, that's not what I want. We've watched so many movies with a Gnostic theme where there were beings behind the scenes that wanted us to do horrible things, and they will be rewarding us for doing these horrible things. Why? The Bible speaks a lot about worship, sacrifice. There were people in the Old Testament who used to sacrifice animals. Why? Ask yourself, why? Why would a God demand? Think about yourself right now. Would you want a person that loves you to unalive an animal in a very brutal way just to show you that they love you? They unalive an animal in a brutal, like they cause suffering just to show you that they love you. Would you want that? Like, yeah, if you love me, sacrifice an animal. Don't you think there is something that they are benefiting? Because that still happens. In many cultures, that still happens. I think even Jewish people do that. In many cultures, that still happens. When I was growing up, that used to happen a lot. Why? Because here's the thing. It's not like it's just one culture that taught the world to do that. It's like in every culture, that's what everyone knows. Everyone knows about sacrifice. Sacrificing, being, adult conscious beings. They know. There isn't a person in the world that doesn't know about that. Ask yourself why the gods would want that. What if there's only one force that is able to take different forms and it's able to get energy from us in different ways? For example, you are a Christian, you are feeding this beast, you are feeding this evil entity by worshiping it, by being ignorant, by causing suffering in the world without realizing that you're causing suffering, by being selfish, by not caring about the truth, by causing confusion, by thinking that you're standing for something true while you're standing for something false, right? You're a Muslim, you don't like Christian. Yeah, you and Christians don't like each other. You're not getting along. You constantly have problems. In countries like Nigeria, Christians and Muslims fight a lot. Ask yourself why. Why doesn't someone intervene and actually tell us that, hey, look, you've been taught nonsense. All of what you believe is BS. Let me just tell you what reality is, and I'll prove to you that what I say reality is what I say it is. I'll prove to you. I'm not going to let you struggle and suffer like this. I understand that you're all innocent because you're curious. You don't know what is actually going on. Some of you were indoctrinated and you believe that your worldview, that's the right worldview to have, because maybe you're not able to like imagine something else that might be true. Relationships Men and women are not getting along for real. And the ones who suffer the most are the ones who care, right? Usually, those who are on top in the dating world, I'm talking about the most attractive women, the most powerful men, they don't usually get to suffer. It's the people at the bottom who get to suffer, who be judging one another because of the things that people who are on top are saying, things that will not work for them. Like, for an example, you date a girl and you don't really have money, and then there's this Instagram baby that's dating some rich guys, and they are, they're being taken out all the time, and she stands there. She goes online and say, yeah, if your guy cannot do this, cannot do that for you, leave him, leave that man. But you're not a baddie. You're not like that girl. There's a lot of decent guys here that can actually, you know what I mean? But these are the people that are making people think a certain way. So you find that men and women are fighting. Relationships are not really working out. I was telling someone that love is like the biggest source of loosh now. And a lot of people don't realize that love is like the biggest source of loosh. People get sick and they die horribly. You're like, why? How is it that we don't find medicine for some sickness? Like, it's not like, we have technology that allows us to fix almost any problem. We have Wi-Fi. That's not supposed to be possible, but it's possible. We got artificial intelligence now. Meta AI. Things that are not supposed to be possible are possible now. So you think that it wouldn't be easy to treat people who are sick, who are suffering? Famine. Some people dying of hunger out there. They're not eating the kind of food that they need to be eating. In a world where there's so much land, overpopulation isn't really a problem. Some people be like, overpopulation. Yeah, that's not really the problem. You don't know what the problem is? The problem is that we are not being taught the right thing. So even if there were only 2 billion humans here, if they were not taught the right things, they would suffer. You understand? If they were taught nonsense, if they were brainwashed, they would suffer. If there were 16 billion humans and they were all taught the right things, there will be less suffering. Now, I'm not saying people must be having to get, at this point, it doesn't really make sense because we are not going towards the right direction as a collective. We're not going towards the right direction. So if you have children, chances are they're going to find themselves suffering way worse than you have suffered. The problem is that we're not being taught the right things. People don't know how to farm, grow their own, they don't know. They don't know how to not depend on the system. We've been programmed to depend on the system, and the system doesn't really care. The system has turned us into slaves for its own benefit. It's a self-saving system. You wake up early in the morning and you go to work. Come back home at night, tired. You don't get time to do your own thing. You don't get time to make the relationships in your life work. You don't get time to spend with your kids, to see what's going on in their own lives, to raise your son and teach him about things that are very important to learn, because life is complicated. And some things we need to be taught while we're still young. We don't need to learn on our own because our fathers are not telling us anything. Some things can be avoided. Find that you don't have to learn some painful lessons because your father taught you everything. That's really important. But people don't get to spend time with their kids because they gotta work. If they don't work, uh, chances are their children are going to suffer worse. So they're like, hey, what can we do? Ask yourself, why is the world the way that it is? Is this how the world should be? Is this how you want the world to be? Is this the only way that the world could have been? Why is it that we are being promised good things? When someone becomes a president in your country, they'll be saying, oh, I'm going to make things better in this way, in that, but things don't become better. Think about the presidents that you've had in your country. In America, how many presidents have you had? Okay, between the time of Obama and now, how many presidents have you had? Do you really think they really did something that was something that you point to be like, yeah, that was that, or they just, it's just like all of them were the same. Like no one did anything special that really made life better. Like you still have the same problems that you had. I saw a video where Trump was saying that they're gonna ban this gender thing. There's only two genders and all that, and people were treating Trump like he's some kind of hero. I'm like, was that even a problem in the first place? It's like some problems are just created so that they will be heroes. But like, what did he do? Like the actual problems that you are going through that actually need to be fixed. There are actual problems that you're going through that actually need to be fixed. Has there ever been a person that actually changed the world? Has there actually been a leader that actually changed the world? Ask yourself why the world is the way that it is. If you think deeply about it, you'd realize that there is something that is benefiting from our suffering. There's so much suffering in this realm because something is benefiting from our suffering. Truman in the Truman Show was suffering, right? Who was benefiting from his suffering? Christopher and the people that were watching. He was not benefiting. It will get to a point where he will be desperate for truth. And they'll keep on lying to him. They didn't care. They were watching, but no one attempted to save him. Even the people who were in his life that knew that none of that shit was real, they didn't care. His best friend didn't care. Didn't tell him the truth. In fact, he lied to him. When Truman figured out what was going on, his friend could have said, look, man, you're right. I'm sorry. You're right. You're right. They're going to come and take me now. Trust me, they're going to come for me now, right now. But you're right. This world is not real. Everyone is an actor. You will see when they come and take me. If they don't come and take him, he continues to talk. Like he would have put them in a trap. But nah, even though he grew up with Truman, he didn't care if Truman was suffering because he was benefiting. He was getting paid. He was famous, right? I'm pretty sure that whenever they got a break, he was treated like a celebrity. Like, oh, look at that guy. That's Truman's friend. He was treated like a celebrity. So why should he care? It's obvious that the gods that people worship here want energy from us. That is why they want us to worship them. That is why humans want to worship. Isn't it weird that humans want to? Like in every culture, it doesn't matter what God they believe in, they'll be worshiping this God. That's what I'm telling you that maybe there's this one God that controls everything, that's able to take different forms. He wants people to worship him, to follow him unconditionally, to love him unconditionally, to cry for him, to beg for his help. He wants people to be like that. That's how he gets energy. So he can take a form of the devil, what you call the devil, and demand worship by way of sacrifice. And you find that there are people who are doing that. Maybe they are, let me say essing, just want to censor the word. So there are people who will as humans, because there's a God that they believe in, and that they believe that God wants them to do that, and that happens. You think that doesn't happen? That happens. There are a lot of people who go missing, and when we find them, they're gone. Why? Do you really think people just do that? I don't know. You find people like that hurt so badly. You're like, why? You got to keep your eyes open to how things work in this room. There has to be a force that wants us to cause suffering to one another, and they reward us for doing that. That is why the most selfish people are the ones who, because they're going to cause a lot of suffering. The ones with the good hearts, the ones who want to help, these are the ones who actually suffer. That is why, as a woman, the guy that actually loves you, you don't love him back, and it's not your fault. You are in the matrix. The part of your brain that needs to be activated won't be activated until you find a guy that's going to hurt you so that you produce loosh. And if you're operating at a high level of consciousness, you can date a guy that you don't love very much, but just because you see that you and that person will work, because it shouldn't really be about love, by the way. It should be about compatibility. You need to be smarter than how the matrix wants you to be. Realize that even love is part of this. So you must seek compatibility. See how you can benefit your guy. See how he can benefit you. And I'm not talking about money and all that. There are ways to exchange energy. Right? There are ways to exchange energy. Maybe that guy makes you laugh. Maybe you're usually sad, and that guy makes you laugh. That guy, when you are in his life, he becomes stronger. That's good. That's good. You are exchanging energies. But when you're not really that conscious, you just fall in love with people who don't love you, for real. And you find yourself more attracted to those who don't love you, to those who are not available to you. And then you suffer, and become broken in the end. There's a reason why that woman who loves you, you don't care about her. You might say, she's not attractive, she's this. She's not going to make you suffer. That's the thing. You are supposed to love that girl that's going to make you suffer. That girl that's going to give you excuses. That girl, if you're supposed to be with her on Sunday, that Sunday she's somewhere else. And you're like, hey, I'm sorry I couldn't make it. Something came up, lying to your ass. Yeah, that's the girl that you must love. Because you are producing a lot of loosh. You are producing a lot of energy. Think about it. Why is it that it's hard to find the right person for you? Why? It's not that you don't meet the right people for you. The problem is that you don't love them. You don't love them, right? You don't love them. And then you find this person and you love them for no reason at all. They haven't done anything good. They haven't proved to you that they're good. They haven't proved to you that they love you. Nothing. You just love them, and you're like, I've never felt this way before. You know what the Matrix is trying to do, right? If you want something, you don't get it, do you? Until you stop wanting it. Why? This is how manifestation works. Want something and then stop wanting it. That's it. If you can want something and stop wanting it at all, you're good. If you really want something, You know what the Matrix is gonna do? It's gonna be like, okay, this guy right now, what he really, really wants more than anything is a house. Or is a home. Like, okay, maybe you're living with toxic people, so you want to buy your own house and live somewhere else. That's what you want with all your heart. When you're sleeping, you're dreaming about that. You know, when you're walking out, when you walk outside, every time you see a house, you're thinking about your own. You aren't getting that house until you focus on other things, until you start worrying about other things. The matrix is gonna be like, oh shit. Okay, because you've already manifested it. Let's stop making it impossible for him to have what he wanted. Let's now focus on this. When they focus on the other things, you get your house. You've already manifested your house. Now they're going to have to find new ways to make you suffer. That's why to manifest what you want, you mustn't really want it. Or you must stop wanting it. Or you must sacrifice something. It's also very important. Ever realize that when things go too well in your life, I'm not talking about you maybe getting the job that you want and start making money, and I'm not even talking about that. I mean, more money, more problems, you know that, but I'm talking about something different. I was watching videos on YouTube and I came across a video where this chick, I think her name is Jaguar White. She's a conspiracy theorist. She used to be a celebrity. She's been very close with some of the most famous black celebrities. You know, she knows what kind of shady shit they do. You know, she predicted a lot of things that ended up happening. I don't know if she's an industry plant or something, but you know, nothing is real, right? But anyway, she said something very interesting, something that I was thinking about K-Dot, about Kendrick. Kendrick had like the best year in hip hop, or in music, I don't know, but in hip hop definitely. Everyone was talking about his beef with Drake, and he won. It's not even debatable. He won. What else did he win? 5 Grammys. Five Grammys for one song. When he won the Grammy, celebrities were singing. It's a diss song. It's a song where he's dissing another celebrity. A celebrity that people like. It's not like Drake is a horrible person. He's not a horrible person. He's not, you know. So that Not Like Us song became number 1, I think, on iTunes. Even on YouTube, it did trend. And then it won 5 Grammys. And because of that song, he got selected to perform at the Super Bowl. Which is something that doesn't happen. Like in hip hop, it doesn't. I mean, yes, last year I think they had. Was it last year when they had? No, it was. I think it was a year before last, where they had Dre. But you know, Dre is a legend, and he carried a lot of artists on this. Like he helped a lot of artists. So of course the performance was going to be great. You know, he had 50, he had Kendrick, he had Eminem. I mean, he had Eminem, bro. He had Mary J. Blige, he had Snoop. You know what I mean? And they have great songs. 50 had performed In the Club. That song is crazy. K-Dot, I think he performed Wig on Bill, right? And performed Lose Yourself. One of the greatest rap songs. Like, that song is crazy. They perform Forget About Dre. They perform Still Dre. The Still Dre beat is the best instrumental in hip hop. Like, you can't I don't think they can make an instrument that's better than that. Like that's instrumental is next level, right? Performed that song. He performed that with Dre. I mean, Dre performed that with Snoop, with Mary J. Blige, with with 50, Kendrick, with yeah. But so of course there was gonna be great. But to choose one artist who's a rap artist and they put him on that stage, I understand that he did very well. And let him do what he wants, because I think Kendrick did what he wanted. Like when you look at the performance, you see he did exactly what he wanted to do. They even allowed him to perform a diss song that the other artist is suing him for. Like, yeah, you can perform that song, and he performed it. So he said something interesting, because his performance wasn't just about performing. It wasn't just about music. It wasn't just about dissing another person. You know, there was a message behind the whole thing. A lot of people miss the message. You know, they're like, oh, his performance was whack. No, his performance was not whack. His performance was not whack, you know. Why are things going so well for Kendrick? So I had a feeling that something bad was going to happen at the Super Bowl, but nothing bad happened, right? He had a great performance. So Jagger White was saying she thinks that they're going to ask Kendrick. She thinks that that's going to happen. And that made me think about the past. Pac, best rapper in the world, 1995. Everyone's talking about Pac. He's everywhere. He's the best. For real, he's the best. And then boom. And that's what happens. It's like when things start going too well for you, it's like that is a setup. It's like that's actually a setup. Maybe things go too well for you so that if they ask you, you will still choose to come back because you believe that you were having a positive experience, but also there will be a lot of people who will be affected. You see, if they ask Kendrick, if we woke up tomorrow and yeah, we heard something bad about Kendrick, you know people will go crazy, right? They'll release a lot of loosh. So I was like, hey, I hope that that's not what they're trying to do, because he had a good year, and you know, Grammys, they just give you these awards, right? And even to choose you to perform there, like they just choose you. It's not like they weren't many great artists who would have performed better, you know, especially artists who are not, because it's not easy as a rapper to have a great performance. You know, it's not easy, especially if you're performing in front of people who might not really know hip hop, like in front of white people who might not really be into hip hop, right? The people who are not your fans. Like it's not easy, because he's not performing in front of his fans. He was performing in front of a lot of people who knew that, okay, that's maybe the best show in America. Everyone is there, you know what I mean? So they had to be there. They're not necessarily there because they want to watch him perform. So that's not easy. Like it's people like Prince that get to kill it. It's people like Michael that gets to kill it. You know, maybe Jay, you know, because Jay, I wonder why he's never performed, because Jay is, you know, he's respected. You know, he's a legend. He's been in the game for a while. Kendrick is still new. He started becoming very popular around 2010, 2011, somewhere there. He's still young, you know. So why did they choose him? It felt like maybe they're choosing him because they are planning. I don't know, there's this story that I used to read when I was young about this kid that was supposed to be asked. So this kid was living in a village and there was no rain in that village. So the king of that village went to a sangoma, a traditional doctor, or let me say a witch. And that witch told him that, hey, you need to ask one kid, one boy. You need to find a boy and then ask him. And then, you know, the adults in that village communicated and they selected this other kid. The parents of that kid started to give that kid more food than other kids, right? You know, and the kid was surprised, why am I being treated so well? Until someone whispered to him that, hey, they're planning to do something. That kid actually ended up escaping. So it seems like a similar thing right now. Because I have seen it with my own life that when things go too well, it's usually a setup. Like something bad and unexpected usually happens. Like when things go too, like things can go well, right? Your life can change, that is true. But when things go too damn well, because things went too well for Kendrick. Things went too well for Kendrick. Too well. So that's why she felt like that, and I also kind of felt like that. Celebrities in the past who knew what was going to happen to them because things were going too well. You look at X. X used to say that, so, and you know, X was into dark magic for real. Like, this is not a conspiracy. Like, he confessed himself that he was into this kind of stuff for real. Even his friends, they say, hey, he wasn't. You know what I mean? And he knew that something was going to happen to him. And it seemed like he was rebellious, you know? Because some people are rebellious. Like, he did all the things that they asked him to do, but he was rebellious. You know, some people care so much about the truth. Like, if me, I got into some dark shit, of course I'll be, of course I'll be exposing them. Maybe not directly. Maybe not directly, but I will be exposing them. I will be giving you secret knowledge, you know, and subliminally giving you the message. You know, if you're conscious enough, you just be getting it. If I got involved into some BS. So yeah, you watch his videos, he was telling us that something was going to happen to him. He understood a lot of things. So I've explained why you don't get what you want. You know, the universe, the matrix is going to keep you away from what you want just to get loose from you. The more you want it, the more it keeps it away from you so that you will produce a lot of loose. You'll be surprised, why can't I have this? And other people are getting it because they don't really care. But you're not getting it, and you're like, what? Let's say, for example, you desperately want to be in a relationship. You desperately want to be in a relationship. You feel like no one loves you. You've never been in love before. You're like, shit, no one loves me. I want to be in a relationship. I want to be loved. And you desperately want, you're never going to be in a relationship. I'm telling you. Or maybe you're going to be in a relationship when you're old and you don't care anymore. The matrix will keep that away from you for real. Like, for real. But like, shit, we're getting a lot of loose from this motherfucker. But if you stop caring and stop giving the matrix loose, you'll be like, okay, what did he want again? Okay, he wanted to be in a relationship. Okay, let's bring this girl in his life. Like, they wanted to bring this girl into his life. This girl is going to mess him up. Because now he's not producing loose. He doesn't care about this shit anymore. So let's bring this girl into his life so that she'll mess him up. We're going to create problems between them so that he'll produce loose. Boom, they got you. It's about loose. It's about you suffering at the end of the day. It's not about you being at peace. It's not about you being happy, you know? That's why they say you find love when you're not looking for it. And then you go through hell after that. Isn't it obvious? Isn't it obvious that we are in a realm of suffering and we're pretending like we are not in a realm of suffering? We're pretending as if everything is fine. If you're still watching and you're new to this channel, hey, like the video. That means there is something that you're gaining. This video was actually meant for you. Because my audience already know about these things that I'm telling y'all about. So it's for you. It's for the new people, right? The new guys in this channel, right? We need to decode the matrix. We need to know how the matrix works. There's no other way. We need to set ourselves free by knowing how the matrix works. We must be able to predict the future because we have seen how the matrix works. I told you this, that usually when my day starts off bad, like something very bad happens in the morning and I'm suffering and something good usually happens later on. Why? I've given the matrix a lot of loose. I fed this beast. So it's cool. It's like, yeah, I'm good now. Yeah, I mean, like, I'm good. I've got enough loose from this motherfucker. Let me go and find loose somewhere else. And then now I'm able to manifest my desired reality. Here's how I think manifestation works. I think when you want something, you can get it. The only problem is that these beings will intervene. They'll be like, okay, that's what you want. Intervene so that you produce lush. You give them lush, give them lush, give them lush, give them lush. And then when they realize that you're not giving them lush anymore, you realize that they're starving, they leave. And then you get what you want. You are the one who manifests what you want. That's how manifestation works. That is why a lot of teachers who are talking about manifestation be like, hey, you shouldn't care, whatever. Act like you have what you have. Feel like you have it. Because here's the thing. If you want something and you feel like you have it, you're not going to produce lush because you already feel like you have it. So you get it. Isn't that simple? Isn't that obvious? Because think about it. If we were not in a messed up realm, manifestation will be straightforward. Like, for an example, when you ask for something that you want, you should get it because that's what you're asking for. Space, you know what I mean? Like when you go into a store and try to buy something, like, yeah, I want to buy a camera, they shouldn't give you a cell phone. You want a camera, so it should be straightforward. But something gets in the way. It gets in the way so that you produce lush, because it's not easy to make humans produce lush unless they keep on failing to have what they want and they become so damn confused. That's how the matrix works. If it's not getting loose from you, you don't really want anything, you don't really have a lot of passion, be like, okay, let's make this motherfucker sick. Let's make this motherfucker sick. That's how we're going to get loose from him. Sometimes he's going to think that he's about to die. Yeah. Sometimes when he's having a good time, he'll need to go to the hospital. Yeah. And then it gets loose from you. You must always have problems. Like, people have too many problems, you know. Social media is showing us that people have a lot of problems. You check people WhatsApp status, you're like, what the hell? Everyone is complaining about something, bruh. Hey, if a person is like this and that, you know, leave them. Hey. If a person doesn't appreciate you, blah, blah, blah. Hey, family, you know, and friends, they're like this and that. Hey, you must trust no one. You see that people are suffering out there. It's because there is a beast that is feeding off negative energy. There's a beast that wants these horrible things to keep on happening. You'd think maybe reality wouldn't work if there wasn't that much suffering, but nah, reality would work. When we were children, we liked having fun. We had no problem, you know. We were full of life. We had, full of excitement. You remember when you were a kid, because your focus was fun. Even though, you know, parents would ruin it for us. You know, hey, go to school. Hey, come in bath. Blah blah blah. But you had so much fun as a kid. Do you mean to tell me that as we get older, we must stop having fun? That's being an adult. Or we should be figuring out how to have more fun. Because once you become an adult, life becomes boring. Like, what the fuck do adults do for fun? That is why people drink, and they produce a lot of leash by drinking, because they become addicted to, things that are not good for, like, they waste a lot of money. Like, when you are an alcoholic, you waste a lot of money on alcohol, you end up being broke, and your life doesn't go anywhere. You lack discipline, you know, but it's the only thing that they can do to have fun, you know. Everything costs money now, and now we are valued by how much money we're making and all, you know what I mean? So it's not easy to have fun, because people now will discriminate against you just because you don't have money. They're not going to treat you well just because they're not going to treat you well just because you do not have money. It's not like how it was when we were kids, you know. Everyone was accepted, you know. We just will play. I do understand that kids were also messed up because they will bully other kids, but it's not really the same, you know. If a kid is with the right group, they'll be fine, you know. There's so much suffering in this world, and it's not necessary. Suffering is not necessary. And it's not a bug, it's a future. We're not suffering because something wrong happened. It was all part of the plan. We should stop making excuses for the gods that we worship, for the creator of this world. We should stop making excuses. Hey, Adam sinned. Yeah, if Adam sinned, shouldn't he be the one that's punished, not us? Shouldn't God have cancelled the project and started all over again just because he realized that human beings are gullible. They'll listen to the devil, so he should have tried differently. Like, okay, you know, these humans, maybe I should start all over again. Maybe I should tell them something different. So maybe, hey, I'm giving them free will because they believe we have free will, right? Christians believe we have free will. Okay, I'm gonna give them free will, but I'm also gonna tell them the truth about the serpent. I'm not gonna lie to them. I'm not gonna tell them that they will die if they eat from the forbidden tree. Nah, I'm gonna tell them the truth and see how they respond. You know what I mean? Try different things other than punishing the whole world. I mean, look at how many people have lived. You say it was all part of the plan. You know, we are told that God knows everything. He knows what's gonna happen before it happens. So it means he knew what the end game was. So it was part of the plan. He just wanted to have fun with us. You know, isn't it obvious? So as conscious beings, we need to keep our eyes open and keep on growing and keep on becoming more and more conscious, and we'll see things as they are. Thank you guys, and if you are new, hit that subscribe button. Thank you. Wait. Even if you're not new, actually hit that subscribe button, because I know there are some people who are watching who have not subscribed. That helps the channel grow. You know, that's really a good thing. So if you support my work, subscribe to the channel, like the video, leave a comment. Thank you all, guys.